Alright, let's dive right into the fascinating world of home plumbing systems. Now, I know plumbing might not sound like the most exciting topic at first, but trust me, having a basic understanding of how it all works can save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress down the line. So, let's start with the basics. Your home's plumbing system is a complex network of water supply pipes, drain pipes, vent pipes, and more. As water comes into your home, it travels through the water supply system. This is under constant pressure to allow the water to flow upstairs, around corners, and wherever it's needed. Once it has been used, it's then carried away by the drainage system. Now, common issues you might face include leaks, slow draining sinks, running toilets, and the list goes on. Let me tell you, a leaky faucet that drips at the rate of 1 drip per second can waste more than 3,000 gallons per year. That's enough water to take more than 180 showers. So, knowing how to identify and fix these issues can be incredibly beneficial. Let's say you have a leaky faucet. Normally, this is caused by a worn-out washer. To fix this, you'll first need to turn off the water supply. Then, remove the handle of the faucet and the packing nut, which will reveal the stem. Remove that as well, and you find the washer. If it's damaged or worn out, replacing it should solve the problem. And voila! No more annoying dripping noise or wasted water. Now, remember, while there are many issues you can handle yourself, some things will require a professional. If you ever feel like a job is beyond your skill level, don't hesitate to call in the pros. It's better to be safe than sorry. So, there you have it. A crash course in home plumbing systems. Remember, understanding the basics could save you from a lot of potential headaches down the road. But more on that later. For now, let's move on to our next topic, shall we? Alright, let's shift gears and talk about something that literally lights up our lives, the residential electrical system. We often take electricity for granted, don't we? But let's not forget, it powers our devices, lights up our homes, and makes life a whole lot easier. So let's break it down. The electrical system in your house is made up of the electrical service circuits in your home's devices and appliances. The electrical service begins at the transformer on the utility pole, travels through the electric meter on your home, and then continues into your home through the main service panel. Now, the main service panel is like the control center for your home's electricity. Each circuit has a circuit breaker which you can manually turn off if you need to work on that circuit. Pretty cool, right? Common issues that you might face with your electrical system could include circuit overload, short circuits, or ground faults. And knowing how to safely replace switches and outlets, as well as understanding wiring basics, is going to be super helpful. But remember, safety first. Always turn off the power at the main service panel before you start any electrical work. And if you're replacing an outlet or a switch, make sure you replace it with one that has the same amperage rating. Replacing a switch or outlet is relatively straightforward. First, you remove the faceplate, then unscrew the device from the box, and finally disconnect the wires. To install the new device, you simply reverse the process, but be sure to connect the wires to the correct terminals. However, if you ever feel out of your depth, don't be a hero. Call a professional. Electricity is not something to mess around with if you're unsure. All right, I hope that sheds some light on residential electrical systems. remember, understanding your home's electrical system can help you use electricity safely and efficiently. Now, let's move on to our next exciting topic. But more on that later. All right, let's switch gears once again and delve into the realm of HVAC systems. HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And these systems are what keep our homes comfortable throughout the year. Whether it's a sweltering summer day or a chilly winter night, the HVAC system is our go-to for indoor climate control. To start with, the heating part of the system typically involves a furnace or heat pump. This warms up the air and distributes it throughout your home. The ventilation part is responsible for exchanging indoor and outdoor air, and it helps remove moisture, odors, and even airborne bacteria. The air conditioning unit then cools the air and removes excess humidity. Now, as with any system, HVAC units can have their fair share of problems. Some common ones include a lack of maintenance, dirty filters, wear and tear, and thermostat issues. Yeah, they can be a bit of a handful, but don't worry, many of these problems can be easily solved. Take dirty filters, for instance. These can be easily replaced, and doing so regularly can prevent a lot of issues down the line. It will improve your air quality and the efficiency of your system. Similarly, if your system isn't heating or cooling effectively, it could be due to thermostat issues. Checking if your thermostat is functioning correctly and properly set can often solve the problem. Regular maintenance of your HVAC is also important. Just like you'd service your car, you should also service your HVAC system. This can prevent minor issues from ballooning into major problems. But remember that if you ever come across something you can't handle, or if your system isn't working despite your best troubleshooting efforts, it's important to call in a professional. After all, we want to solve problems, not create new ones. So, there you have it. A quick look at HVAC systems and how they work. HVAC systems and how they work. Remember, a little knowledge goes a long way in keeping your home comfortable and your systems running smoothly. Now let's move on to our next topic, but more on that later.
All right, now let's talk about something we should all be mindful of: energy efficiency and home systems.
We all love to live comfortably, but it's important to remember that our lifestyle choices have an impact on our environment and our utility bills. So understanding the principles of energy efficiency and how to optimize household systems can lead to significant cost savings and sustainability. You see, energy efficiency is all about reducing the amount of energy required to provide the same level of service. For instance, an energy-efficient refrigerator allows you to store your food at the right temperature, but uses less electricity to do so. Now, one of the best ways to optimize energy efficiency in your home is by focusing on your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical systems. For your HVAC system, regular maintenance, using energy-efficient models, and properly insulating your home can go a long way in reducing energy consumption. As for your plumbing, consider installing low-flow fixtures to reduce water usage and insulate your pipes to prevent heat loss. And when it comes to your electrical system, using energy-efficient appliances and lighting, as well as turning off and unplugging devices when they're not in use, can also make a significant difference. But remember, it's not just about the money you'll save on your utility bills. It's also about reducing our impact on the environment. Energy efficiency helps to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and our reliance on fossil fuels. So, by optimizing the energy efficiency of your home systems, you're also contributing to a more sustainable future. All this talk about energy efficiency might feel a bit overwhelming, but don't worry. Every little bit helps. Start with small changes, and over time, they will add up to make a big difference. Now let's move on to our final topic. But more on that later. Okay, now let's delve into a topic that is of paramount importance: safety protocols and best practices when dealing with household systems. No matter how proficient we become in managing our home systems, safety should always be our first priority. When it comes to plumbing, for instance, you should always know where your water shutoff valve is located in case of emergencies.
Also, never attempt to repair a gas leak yourself. That's a job for professionals.
With electrical systems, it's crucial to always switch off the power at the main service panel before starting any electrical work. And remember, water and electricity don't mix, so always dry your hands before handling electrical devices or switches. As for your HVAC system, regular maintenance can prevent many issues. However, if you ever smell gas or suspect a carbon monoxide leak, you should immediately evacuate your home and call in the professionals. Carbon monoxide is a silent killer. It's odorless and colorless, so having a working carbon monoxide detector in your home is a must. In all these cases, if you're ever unsure or feel out of the depth, don't hesitate to call a professional. It's better to be safe than sorry. Also,
always use the correct tools and protected gear.
trust me, a pair of protective goggles or gloves can save you from a world of pain. And finally, remember to keep your work area clean and uncluttered to prevent accidents. It's easy to trip over a tool left on the floor or to get a shock from a wire that's not properly insulated. So, there you have it. A quick rundown of safety protocols and best practices when dealing with household systems. Remember, safety is no accident. It requires conscious effort and diligence. Safety. Now, that wraps up our discussion on household systems. But remember, there's always more to learn.